For this project, I made a sculpture of a jellyfish made entirely out of garbage as a comment on ocean pollution and its effect on the beautiful and diverse life in our oceans. Plastic products have drastically increased in recent years and make our lives more convenient in many ways, but at what cost? The outcomes are more profits for many corporations, but also damage to the health of marine populations and our environment. Large amounts of these plastics, as well as other pollution, make their way to our oceans where they damage the diverse marine life, and roughly 80% of the litter in our oceans is plastic. This pollution can trap or suffocate marine animals. It can even be ingested and cause harm to the animal internally. Unfortunately, plastic is not the only way that we pollute our oceans. Chemical pollutants contaminate fish, and this impacts more than marine life. An increase in mercury pollution, for example, will increase the amount of mercury in fish. A very large portion of our population includes fish and other marine animals in their diets. When we eat highly mercury-contaminated fish, it can cause long-term health issues. Our actions as humans, such as high traffic on ship routes, can also cause issues as it leads to increased ocean acidification by the release of CO2 and sulfur-rich gases. Increased ocean acidification can be deadly for marine life, especially those with calcium carbonate shells, as it can actually dissolve their shells. Ocean acidification and other environmental impacts of pollution can contribute to the extinction of marine species. The International Union for Conservation of Nature counts over 1,550 marine species as threatened or in danger. This is out of 17,903 marine species that they have evaluated. Using these numbers, I calculated that 8.66% of the marine species evaluated are at risk of extinction. Despite the harmful outcomes of ocean pollution, we still have people in power, like politicians, who refuse to acknowledge the reality and severity of the impacts that humans have on climate issues like ocean pollution. We have corporations and government officials that put financial profits over the health of our environment, animals, and humans. Businesses continue to make single-use plastic products and use processes that pollute the environment to make money. And some people still do not believe that pollution is a serious enough issue, but even some who do choose to ignore it because they do not see short-term impacts that affect them personally. Fortunately, we do have some policies and strategies in place that help to control this issue to an extent. The strategies for environmental health change, specifically relating to ocean pollution, include monitoring pollution and its impacts on health, educating the public, creating and enforcing environmental policies through agencies like the EPA, and conducting scientific research to better prevent ocean pollution and treat environmental health issues. There are agencies like the Environmental Protection Agency who work towards environmental justice by enforcing environmental health standards and educating the public on policies and events relating to environmental health. There's also the National Centers for Coastal Ocean Science, which was created in 1999 to monitor ocean contaminants and research the effects that ocean pollutants have on the marine life in our area. We also have legislation that has been passed to prevent ocean pollution. Legislation like the Ocean Dumping Act, Act on Prevention of Pollution from Ships, and the Oil Pollution Act. But let's be clear, there is still a lot of work to be done, especially when it comes to the actions of our governments and corporations. Single-use plastics and other possible pollutants are still a major part of our economy and our daily lives. A lot of the work that needs to be done is on a much larger scale than our individual choices as consumers. Some of the ways that we can impact these issues on a larger level is by voting for those who care about environmental health issues, by attending and organizing protests, by signing petitions, and by volunteering for or supporting organizations that do important work for the environment. Groups like the Ocean Cleanup, a nonprofit foundation using new technologies to clean up floating plastics in our oceans. In 2022, they collected 337,999 pounds of garbage from the oceans. They have gained the support of almost 1 million followers on social media sites like Instagram and are constantly having job openings for those who want to join their team. We also have businesses working to make a difference through the making of alternatives to single-use plastics, whether it's beeswax wraps to reduce or to replace plastic bags, bamboo toothbrushes, or washable menstrual pads, or shampoo and conditioner bars. There are even materials being made that look and feel like plastic but are dissolvable or compostable. These are just a few of the plastic alternatives that are out there. So, what can we do to be more sustainable in our own lives? One major change we can make is to buy less single-use plastics and to decrease our overall consumption of products, as this will in turn decrease our waste. You could also recycle and reuse materials when you can, while making sure to follow the recycling rules in your area. And of course, don't litter. In addition to these changes, you could find ways to get more involved in your community's efforts to be more environmentally friendly. For example, attending a litter cleanup or pickup in your local area. There are many factors that go into our environmental choices. The theory of environmentally responsible behavior and the conceptual model for preceding factors of this theory show how motivation, demographics, social impacts, and knowledge impact actions and environmental responsibility. The theory shows the importance of education as the first step for environmentally responsible behavior. The preceding factors section of the model could include demographic or environmental factors. For instance, an individual's income could impact certain environmental behavior because many eco-friendly brands or more eco-friendly food choices are inaccessible to lower-income individuals in certain areas. Accessibility is a really important aspect to consider when looking at sustainability on an individual level. This is why it can be really beneficial to focus more on upcycling and reusing products rather than focusing solely on buying new eco-friendly products. In conclusion, ocean pollution, especially due to single-use plastics, is a global issue that can cause irreversible damage to marine life and species diversity. That is why it is so important that our population makes major changes as individuals, in communities, but most importantly in our governments and corporations in order to protect the health of our beautiful and diverse environment.